Welcome to the Purpose Driven Mom Show, episode 461. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why you need a Sunday reset and how you can make it work best for you. Now, I know that we're heading into summer. Maybe you're already there, but you've probably been there as well. It's Monday morning. You're digging through the laundry. This was us this morning, actually, because I didn't have clean underwear for my daughter because we're going on a trip. And so I had already packed everything away and just couldn't find the underwear, right? But you're looking for the underwear, the matching socks. You didn't go grocery shopping. Things start popping up, right? Cue the chaos and the rushing and that feeling of being behind before things even start. There is a quote from Jim Rohn, who I absolutely love. It says, either you run the day or the day runs you. And for us moms, more often than not, we are feeling a bit bulldozed by the day. I want to talk to you today about why a Sunday reset can change your entire week and how you can make one that is flexible, that's realistic, and that energizes you, whether the kids are in school, at summer camp, or home. Show notes are going to be at purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 461. Now, Sunday reset's important, not just for your mental load, but your emotional benefits, right? There is the decision fatigue that we all start a Monday with, okay? When you have a Sunday reset, what you're really doing is giving yourself that breath of fresh air. You are gifting. I always say how planning is like a gift to your future self. You are gifting yourself this beautiful present of less decisions. When you use a Sunday reset method, like the one I'm going to talk about today, you are going to have to think less. Beautiful, right? And you will get to act more because the basics are already set in stone. They're already done for you. I use my Sunday as my planning day. Now, I teach a 4 seasons method: plan, push, rest, and fun. My Monday through Thursday, that is my push, right? I'm going, I'm working, we're at activities, etc. Friday actually tends to be my rest day, where I don't do anything if I can help it. Like, we try really hard not to have Friday night activities. We don't schedule sports that are Fridays. We try to keep Fridays like super chill. And then Saturdays, that's a little bit of our fun. So we're at sports, we're at activities, we do things as a family. And then I use Sundays to plan. I love doing this method because it really allows me to start my push part of the week less scrambly, less decision overload. I already have my plan, I know what I have to do, and I just trudge forward. Now, there's also emotional benefits, okay? When you start the week in reactive mode, like I talked about in the intro a little bit, right? Just trying to find the things. I didn't have lunch made. This is why I'm huge on like make lunches the night before. Even when my kids are going to camp, we're going to have lunches done. When they're home, I've shared before, but my kids will do half the summer at camp and half the summer home. When they're home during those half summer weeks, I plan out what's for lunch. I will pack them my own lunch if I can, especially because when they're home this summer, we're going to be out and about probably for lunch. So I might make sandwiches. Like, I will pack things like they're going to school. Why? Because it makes me feel less frazzled in the morning. When you do a Sunday reset method, you're going to start the week feeling already ahead instead of that scrambling morning of trying to grab things. And I'm telling you, going into the summer, this is so important for me in particular, and it may be for you as well, because every week is different. So I need to make sure that I'm doing my Sunday reset strategies that we're going to talk about, my system, so that I know, what camp are we going to? What does the camp require? When are the water days? Are there any field trips? What special things do they need, right? That is so key. On top of it all, I still am working all summer. And so I need to make sure that I'm doing a nice Sunday reset where I'm redoing our visual schedule. We'll talk about all these tips in a second, but really setting up the week for success for all of us. It's going to boost my confidence and the calm in our homes, which we desperately need. The mornings where we're rushing, we're late, can't find the shoe, let's go, we gotta get out the house. Not only does it elevate my own nervous system, but it elevates my kids' nervous system as well. And we don't want that. We want to have smoother days. Having a Sunday reset is like starting your week off super buttery smooth, okay? And listen, there are studies that have shown that creating a predictable weekly rhythm, like the one that we're gonna talk about again. I know people are like, routines are routines. I don't want to be all boxed in the summer. Rhythm, we'll use rhythm, can reduce stress up to 25%. Okay. Who wouldn't want 25% less stress? Why not give yourself this gift? Now, here's the thing I'm going to tell you though. I know that you're going to think, I can't add any more into my schedule, right? But a reset isn't about doing more. It's about setting yourself up to do less later. You do not have to take 9 hours on a Sunday, say, I'm not doing anything else except resetting and meal prepping and doing my laundry. No, it doesn't have to look like that. It can look like creating very simple systems that will allow you to do it in pockets, in small chunks. Now, there's some things I'm going to talk to you about that I do in my Sunday reset that do take a little bit more time. And then there are some things that are small, tiny tasks that allow things to be easier. All right, so what does a Sunday reset look like? Spoiler, not this beautiful Pinterest perfect, Instagram worthy 3 hour routine. Okay. Would I love to have 3 hours to make all my things and do that? Yes. Now I do spend, I will say, on my meal prepping 16 to 90 minutes on Sundays, getting everything made and ready to go. But it actually, the time goes really quick. I've shared on the past episodes, I've been making more things from scratch, bread, bagels, etc. I've actually got a really good rhythm and flow that allows it to be not as much on Sundays, and I slowly prep throughout the week, and I'll share that a little bit. Okay. Here are the things you're going to want to do first. Now, Sunday mornings look like for us if we're in town. And I say it like that because my daughter just finished her cheer season. She's a competitive cheerleader. We travel a ton. We've just had a lot of things happening. So Sunday mornings, if we're in town, we're at church. Okay. So we get up, we go to church, we come home, we have lunch. Now, my daughter used to go to practice at 1. She had practice from 1 to 4:30 on Sundays, and now she doesn't because it's the summer. So we actually have Sundays more free, which is wonderful. So that's typically also when I'll get like I have my therapist is only available on Sundays or weeknights. So we do Sundays, so I'll get into therapy, and things like that. So in between all of that, I do these things. All right. First up is I look at my week ahead and I do my weekly planning. Now, you can go to purposedrivenmom.com/weekly planning. We'll put over in the show notes podcast, purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 461. Whew, the weekly planning checklist. I do my weekly planning first before I do anything else. Actually, I'm lying to you. The first thing I do in my prep when we get home from church is I start my bread. I make 1 to 2 loaves a week, depending on if we need them. The recipe that I use is 2 loaves, so it's just easier to make two, and then I'll stick some in the freezer. Now, I did just get a sourdough starter, so when we get back from our Florida trip, I'm going to investigate sourdough. I'm very excited to get started, but this is just literally like white sandwich bread, but I have found a really great recipe. It works. It's double. Okay. So I start that. Why? Because it has to double rise, which means that it takes about 3.5 hours, 4 hours to fully be done. So I just start that at the start of my day. If I have time in the morning before church, I will actually start the first rise when we're at church. So you let it sit with the yeast for 10, 15 minutes. Then you put the flour in, things like that, let it rise for about an hour and a half. That's perfect while we're at church. Then you come in, roll it out, put it into the bread loaves. Then it needs to rise for another hour to an hour and a half before you cook. So that's the first thing. But the second thing I do is I look at my calendar. Why? Because I can't plan anything else if I don't look at my calendar. I can't do the laundry, prep out the meals, do the picking out the clothes until I know what's actually happening. All right. So I sit down to do that. I'm lying to you again. I do my laundry first. See, I was about to be like, no, I don't. And this system is important for a reason. I asked myself, what are the things that I can do not in a multitask way, but that are the most efficient. The bread, one. Laundry. Laundry just has to run. I don't have to do anything till it's folded. So I also will start my bread, 10, 15 minutes of the yeast doing its thing. That's when I put the laundry in the dryer if there is laundry. Now, I tend to not always do laundry on Sundays because I do it during the week. I do a load every other day. I don't need to always do laundry on Sundays. So that's why I forgot about it. But I will, if I'm doing laundry, I do laundry first. Then I'm going to sit with my calendar. All right, come back to speed. So now I'm going to sit with my calendar and I'm going to walk through my weekly process. Now, Sundays at the Purpose Driven Mom Club, we do this together, but I like to have, if I can, my planning done before we get on. Club members know, right? If I don't have my planning on, it takes a little bit longer. If my planning's done, I walk them through in like 15, 20 minutes to, tell a story here or there. So the planning method includes putting the appointments that you can't miss on your calendar. Now, why is this important for your Sunday reset? Because you will forget something, you notice a conflict. Oh, my husband, I need you here. Someone needs to ride here, etc. Did this get canceled? What are we doing, right? I go through and I check my appointments. Then when I'm done, I go through the rest of my Sunday planning process, which is 15 minutes a day for one of my goals, 15 minutes a day for one of my habits, and 15 minutes a day for my own learning and growth. Those are the 45 minutes a day I gift myself every single day, minimum on my goals. Often I spend more, but I always tell myself at least an hour a day just for me on what I need. And I encourage you to do the same. So I want you to do that first. This will help set up the rest of the day because you're like, oh, cool, I've already done my planning. I know what's coming. So now I can plan for what I need. Once your calendar's ready to go, now what we're going to do is we're going to start food prep. Now, the reason I start food prep next is because while my things are cooking, I can do other things. All right, so the laundry's running, the bread's already doing its thing. I've just made my schedule for the week. I'm good to go. Now I'm going to do my meal prep. Now, I have a piece of paper, it's taped up on my fridge, and it's what is included in my weekly meal prep. Why? So I don't have to think about it. Also, anyone else can help and delegate. And then sometimes during the week, I can do things early. I don't have to wait till Sunday. If I know that I have a week where I'm traveling or we're busy on Sunday, I might do some of my prep on Friday or Monday or whatever. Typically, in my prep involves the following things. I will roast potatoes or sweet potatoes. Pro tip, the canned potatoes, canned whole potatoes are great. They're like 70 cents a can at Aldi. I'll take two or three of those, olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, throw in my air fryer. Don't even have to use the oven. And then I have them for lunch. That's about 4 days worth of lunches for me with 2 to 3 cans. Just a side note. So I do that a lot. If not, I will peel and cube up some sweet potatoes if I'm in the mood for sweet potatoes as well. Okay, so that goes first because they take the longest in my oven. Then I will get any sort of grilled chicken going. My husband and I like grilled chicken for buffet style meals, if you will. So I'll get the chicken going. So while the chicken's cooking, I move on to the next couple things. I hard boil eggs for my son's lunch. I will make cookies. If we have any in the freezer, I just pop them in the oven. If I don't have any dough frozen, I will make the dough for it. Then I will roast some vegetables. I like to have those with dinner, so I just make them in advance. I might make a rice or a couscous or quinoa, like some sort of grain. I just make it plain brown rice, so then I can, fancy it up or not with whatever we're eating. And then I go through and chop, clean, wash any sort of vegetables, fruits that we need for an easy dinner. Depending on if we're having any sort of salad, my son loves salad or romaine lettuce. Essentially, all he will eat is the romaine lettuce and ranch. So I will make him a ranch dressing. And I will maybe make some bagels if we need bagels that week because they don't take that much time. That whole concept takes maybe like 60 minutes. The other thing that I do prep in my Sunday is I call it just like a casserole dish, but I guess that's what you could call it. It's like a one pot type of dish, depending on what we're making. So I make like cheesy taco mac is one that my family really likes, baked lasagna, any sort of high protein. I get a lot of my meals, my high protein meals from Stay Fit Mom, so you can check them out in their recipes, their cookbooks, delicious. And it makes a ton of food. And so we reheat dinners a lot. So I will spend that probably takes like a full hour to like make and then put in the oven, right? So I will make one of those on Sundays. So then that's literally what we're eating for dinner. We'll eat it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, leftovers for lunch. We don't care. So if you're I make new meals, I make like two, maybe three new dishes a week. Everything is just leftovers otherwise. So if you're someone who wants to prep a dinner, you can do that as well. Now I get all that cooked, prepped, cleaned, and ready to go. So my dishwasher's running, all that's good. Oh, look, the timer's gone off. Let me go put the laundry in the dryer and let me go double rise my bread or wherever it needs to go, or let me put my bread in the oven, okay? So now that those things are done, I take a little bit of a break. I might eat a snack, have a cup of coffee, and then look at the rest of the day. Then I'm going to prep my spaces. So this is where we do a reset, not a deep clean, okay? Think clean up enough to take a breath. That's all it is. So this is where my family, everybody gets on board. We put on a timer, we put on some music, and we pick up the areas. All right, kitchen, entryway, living room, playroom, bedrooms. We're just picking up. We're putting things back where they need. I do my cleaning. I say this with an asterisk and an eyebrow raise. I attempt to do my cleaning during the week, right? Mondays I do the bathrooms, Tuesdays I do dusting, mirrors, and Wednesdays I vacuum, Thursdays I mop, Fridays I wash sheets. It's from the Clean Mama method that I've adapted. And I do like 2 to 3 of those days actually each week. I try my best. And then every day I run my robot vacuum at night to sweep. That's my attempted thing, right? I do my laundry. So like I don't want to do that on Sundays. I don't feel like cleaning on Sundays. So we just do a quick pick up. This is going to help your mindset be so much better because the space is clear. Have the kids help, have the family help. Now take these things I'm saying, put them in a nice little system, a checklist, so that everybody can help. Because maybe your kids want to do their pickup of their room or the playroom or whatever while you're cooking. So we don't have to all do it together as long as it gets done. Next up is checking your essentials. This is going to be different every single week depending on what you have going on. Going into the summer, this is going to be different. Some days we're leaving midweek to go camping. Some weeks we're at camp. Some weeks they're home. So if they're at camp, are their bags packed for camp? Do you have the water shoes and the extra change of clothes? If you're going on a trip that week, is all of that stuff ready to go? Go through and make sure you have snacks prepped. Again, grab and go. I don't buy the single packs of chips, goldfish, etc. for my kids for snack, but I might get like a whole big thing of goldfish and I will just put them in Ziploc bags, right? I'll just make them ready to go. Anything that will save you time is what we're looking for in the Sunday reset. So make sure you're ready to go. Make sure your work stuff is ready to go. During the year, I might check and make sure my Girl Scout stuff's ready to go, but in the summer, we have less responsibilities, but it's important to make sure things are where they need to go. I also make sure I clean up like the shoe bin. I didn't say this on the like prepping your spaces, but we have two areas where shoes live in our home besides where they're supposed to live, which is, that person's shoe spot in their bedroom. We have a bin and then we have a little thing that holds jackets. I can't think of the word. A shoe rack and a shoe bin. I always reset those on Sundays. Put your shoes away, let's start fresh, okay? Also, I do like an outdoor cleanup. I forgot to say this with Prep Your Space, but with the summer, let's do an outdoor pickup, right? Let's make sure that outside is picked up, pick the sidewalk chalk up and the bubbles and the sports equipment, like put everything back. I think that's really, really helpful, all right? And last but not least, a little reset for your mindset, okay? A journaling session or a walk are my favorite things to do. I will take a 15-minute walk once all this is done. My oven's done, everything's cleaned up. I go by myself around the block and I just ask myself, all right, what worked really well last week? What did I do to contribute to that? Like I try to be like, let's own that. What am I grateful for? And what can I let go of this week? Like what is stressing me out that I can just let go of? Reset your mindset and think about the week. I like to pray a little bit and just say, God, thank you so much for this week that's coming. I'm excited and open to whatever you have for me. That helps you feel less like you're trying to get out of the quicksand and more like you're being in charge of the week. Now, here's the thing that you're going to need to remember though. You have to make this work for you. So I gave you some tips, but you have to adjust. Now, flexible is better than perfect, okay? So if Sundays are so busy for you because you travel, you're not around, you're out of town, whatever, do a mini reset Saturday or Monday. Do half Saturday, half Monday, right? Even a small reset, even if you're like, I can't do all these things, can I start with one? I've never done a Sunday reset. So this first Sunday, I'm going to use Cara's habit stacking method. I'm just going to worry about resetting my calendar. Then next Sunday, I'm going to reset my calendar and do meal prep. The third Sunday, calendar, meal prep, spaces. Fourth, calendar, meal prep, spaces, checking the essentials. And then the fifth one, add the mindset. Slow and steady over, I need to do this 4-hour thing. Now, again, what I just told you probably does take me 3 to 4 hours, but I don't do it consecutively. I think that's important. I just do it in pockets. I do it throughout the day. I'll go be like, oh, now it's nice. I want to go sit outside. Now I'm going to go take a walk. Oh, now we're going out to lunch. Like that's okay. And don't forget that this is a family job. It's not just your responsibility. Kids can make their lunches. They can pack their bags. They can help the snacks. They can get things ready as well. If you've never involved them, start small. Okay, this week, guys, you have camp, which means you need to have water shoes, a towel, and a bathing suit, as well as an extra change of clothes. I'm going to have you pack your bags. And here's that. My kids are getting 7 and 9, my little guys, like natural consequences. If you don't pack your things, you're going to be in wet clothes. And my mom heart wants to be like, no, do it for them, but they have to learn, right? So I would say to them, this is how I would do it. I wouldn't throw them everything. And they'd be like, I don't want to do it. You do it. Well, you know what? This summer is going to look a little different. Mom has packed your bags in the past, but that doesn't help you learn how to do it. So this year, it's your responsibility, but don't worry because I'm going to help you through, okay? First things first, go get your backpacks and come put them in a chair at the kitchen table, right? Because I'm probably cooking at this point. Okay, great. Awesome. We got our bags. I need you to go get your beach towel. Send them one at a time. Get things. Well, when they get their extra clothes, show them how to put them in the bag. You have to teach them, all right? Kids can help, but we have to teach them. Take your time. I just did an episode on teaching your kids, right? So go listen to that and remember that it can happen, all right? And don't forget, like I said before, done is better than perfect. Aim for let me get 70% of this done. If I get 100% of it done, it's a bonus. If I get at least, 2 out of 3, I'm going to feel good. Pick the things that you know help. If I don't do my weekly planning on my calendar, And if I don't do my meal planning, I know that I'm going to struggle, right? What are the ones that are your non-negotiables and the essentials? Now let's talk some quick roadblocks before I give you your action tips and it's time to go. I know that you're going to feel tired, right? It's Sunday and you need a human person reset. Like I sit, read my book a little bit, I take some time for myself, I get outside. I like to go hiking on Sundays if we can. So I don't want to spend the whole day doing these things. And sometimes I'm just tired. Start with one. Okay. Start with one part of it, build momentum, like I mentioned, week by week, and remind yourself, I can do anything for 15 minutes. So put on a timer, put on a song, get a good audiobook and get it done. The other thing that helps me with my pickups is phone calls. So I know that if someone calls me on the phone and I choose to pick it up, I'm gonna go clean and gonna pick up while we're on the phone. If I'm Marco Poloing with a friend, I'm gonna be doing that. Why? Because I want to maximize that time. The other thing that I think is gonna be a struggle is that perfectionism. So just don't forget that your reset doesn't have to look like some TikTok speed up montage of beautiful Sunday resets. Okay, focus on function over aesthetics. When we get caught into the perfectionism of it has to look a certain way and I don't have my pretty meal prep containers and all that, we just won't do it. So just know, again, done is better than perfect. If you have unexpected interruptions, kids are sick, someone comes into town, a vacation pops up, life's going to happen. Tell yourself any amount of time is better than no time. Even if I just do a 5-minute mini reset to pick up all the laundry off the floor, right? I can do it. It will help me feel better. Get off the couch, just do one thing. I have been talking about the 1% more method, just do 1% more. Okay. But here's the thing. You don't have to like earn your calm week through exhaustion. A Sunday reset is a gift. You give it to yourself, you give it to your family. So don't feel like you need to jump into mommy martyr mode and just run, run, run. Like do the reset to help the week feel easier. Make a list of all those other things that take you time during the week that you could do on the weekends instead. All right. I want you to choose one part of the Sunday reset this week and try it. DM me. I'm over at A Purpose Driven Mom. I want to cheer you on. You can do this. All right. Show notes are going to be at a purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 461. This summer, you're going to need a system that works for you that you can adjust. Remember, rhythms over routine is actually what is going to work. We love the word routine. It's a common one we use, but there's something about the word rhythm that just is like, right? It's that breath of fresh air because really it's about the flow. It's about how things flow for you, not just when you're home, but when you go away, when you're on vacation, when you're relaxing. Can you make your life feel more like a nice calm little wave instead of, the what is it, a tsunami coming towards you? You've got this and have a great one.